tonight, his 67th appearance in burnt orange. Grubbs pitched in both regional games against UTSA and lost the first decision against the Roadrunners here in the postseason last year as he pumps in a called strike to Drew Detlefson. A week in between appearances for Grubbs, who worked 2 2/3 innings last Tuesday against Sam Houston. Both of these teams played in high-scoring games in their most recent midweek. For Texas, they came back from a 6-run deficit to walk off Sam Houston 15-14 last Tuesday. Meanwhile, UTSA hung 22 runs on Incarnate Word, a 22-10 win for the Roadrunners at home against UIW.
You know, Max Grubb, you had mentioned what his numbers and his appearances. Last year, he was a huge part of the success of this Texas baseball team. A lot of injuries on the pitching staff, and he stepped up every step of the way.
On 1-2, Detlefson bounces one foul outside at third base. It's Jason Millsap calling the balls and strikes tonight on an 84-degree start here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field. It's overcast, but it's humid, and it's expected to be pretty warm throughout the night here in the lone regular season meeting between these two programs, separated by less than 80 miles. UTSA first place in the American Conference, just swept their first conference series over the weekend at home against Wichita State.
And that was big for them.
Detlefson fouls another one away. Now 2 games up on East Carolina for the top spot in the conference. UTSA, they didn't win the auto bid from the American last year. That went to East Carolina, who won the conference tournament. UTSA got to a super by way of an at-large. Detlefson, win around. 2 outs. First strikeout for Max Grubbs.
It's a good start for Max Grubbs, being able to first pitch, get a line drive to left field, and then being able to get out this big-time hitter with a nice tight slider on the corner for strike 3. Tried to check his swing, didn't hold up. Strike 3 call.
Detlefson, not an easy customer to strike out. And here's Lane Hayworth with 2 down, taking a belt-high strike. Hayworth from Louisville, Texas, a transfer from Wichita State. Spent the last 2 years with the Shockers and got a chance to play a lot of his former teammates over the weekend. This is the only SEC regular season game for the Roadrunners, who had one scheduled in April at A&M, but that was canceled because of rain. Low and inside for ball 2.
That's the pitch right there that Max Grubbs needs. For him to keep guys off balance and being able to get into the weekend, he's going to need to do that kind of stuff right there with his breaking ball.
Hayworth bounces it to first. Casey Borba has it. It's a 1-2-3 start for Max Grubbs.
Programmed the right way.
Aiden Robbins collected his 200th career hit on Sunday at 5 hits, 5 RBIs across the Hail State series. James Hubbard, no stranger to the dish, started the regular season midweek game that UTSA won here in extras last year. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and a no decision. So this is his second career start against Texas here in Austin. Aiden Robbins, of course, a newcomer on this 2026 squad. Wasn't a part of any of those meetings with UTSA last year. Coming over from Seton Hall, was one of the nation's top hitters in the Big East last season. Finished with a .422 batting average. And with what he's been able to do here in his lone season at Texas, he's become one of the top available outfielders for the upcoming Major League Baseball draft. Continues to climb those rankings.
Well, you talked about it. You hit .422 in the Big East and then come to the SEC and you're still around that number. You got a good opportunity of making yourself a lot of money.
It's a 5-pitch walk to Robbins to open the home half of the first. ESPN's Kylie McDaniel ranks Aiden Robbins 21st overall for the 2026 MLB draft. So there's a better than good chance he'll be a first rounder.
Absolutely, and if you look around, you'll see a bunch of scouts here every single weekend from start to finish, and he's performed well in the SEC along with the entire season.
Carson Tinney, the designated hitter in this one, was held hitless over the weekend against Mississippi State, but did find his way on base in all 3 games of the series. Has been on base in 23 straight games. 3 infielders to the left of second for the Notre Dame transfer, who beats the shift by rolling one through the right side. And the Longhorns in business early with 2 on and nobody out.
It's a great piece of hitting, and that's the one thing, too, that you start to look at how these teams are playing defensively. There's a Grand Canyon-sized hole over on the right side, and if you've ever watched him take BP, he wears out right field the entire time. So him being able to shoot the ball in there is perfect for the way that they had him shifted.
Tinney's first base hit of the homestand since he launched that 463 walk-off blast. 463-foot walk-off blast last Tuesday here against Sam Houston. First ball swinging, Adrian Rodriguez into right field. Texas will go station to station, and the Longhorns have him loaded with nobody out.
This is an ideal start for the Texas Longhorns and their ability to score runs. You want to get runs early in this ball game to give Max Grubbs some breathing room. Adrian Rodriguez now on the left side exclusively. Got a pitch he can handle down and in. Big base knock right there.
Rodriguez, who announced he would be batting exclusively left-handed the rest of the season, dealing with a nagging hand injury that's bothered him in both of his college campaigns here in Austin with Texas, and really showing some signs of feeling more comfortable up there. Hit another home run over the weekend. It's homers in back-to-back SEC series. And so Texas in a great spot to strike first, and not just strike first, but strike big here in the bottom of the first inning at home.
Especially with the experience that you have for a guy like Ethan Mendoza. He knows what it's like to have runners in scoring position. He's another guy that can use the entire field, and you want to make sure you get some runs at this at-bat right here. But don't get out of character to try to launch it. Just make sure you hit something hard somewhere.
Mendoza swinging it well of late. He's hit safely in 8 straight games. 4 hits, 5 walks over the weekend against Mississippi State. And 2 for 9 with the bases loaded this year. He takes the first one off the outside. Pat Hallmark, the UTSA head coach, did tell us yesterday he is expected to use a lot of different arms in this game. And as much as the Roadrunners would like to win this one to help their resume, their focus is on winning the American Conference regular season title as Mendoza takes ball 2. Mendoza, the Texas leader in hits and batting average last year after transferring in from Arizona State. And batting average starting to climb this season, back above 280 after the weekend. On 2-0. It's ball 3. And as Mendoza has started to swing it better, he's drawing more walks.
Being patient at the plate. Don't get out of character. Start chasing balls in and out of the zone and making sure you have solid contact. Better takes, better approach, and to your point, get more walks. Chris, a lot of times in those situations, guys get a little anxious. They see the runners on the bases and want to do some damage, but very patient right there.
James Hubbard showing some signs of rust in his first appearance in 24 days. And Patrick Hallmark on the top step of the UTSA dugout. We'll see if he lets Hubbard face Temo Becerra, who had 6 hits over the weekend against Mississippi State. Hubbard will stay in the game, and he delivers strike 1. Becerra, the graduate transfer from Stanford, 2 for 8 with the bases loaded this year. At his second 4-hit game of the season on Saturday against Hail State. And takes in the dirge. Stopped by Andrew Stuckey, the catcher.
You can see Coach Hallmark in the dugout kind of really not wanting to go to the bullpen this early in the ballgame. It could be a long, long evening.
First four have reached for Texas in this game. 2 walks and 2 hits. Hubbard in front of Temo Becerra, the third baseman here, 1-2. Two and two.
Talked about the 4 hits this past weekend on Sunday. Big rallying cry for this Texas baseball team as they were down 5-0 early in the ballgame.
Long hold for Hubbard. And on 2-2, it's strike 3 called over the outside edge. Becerra had thought about swinging at it and probably should have. He's the first out for James Hubbard tonight in Austin.
That's a big strikeout in this situation. You can see he throws that fastball on the outer third away from Becerra. You thought he was going to offer at it. Good spot, great frame, strike 3.
Mississippi State over the weekend.
Ashton Larson got a pitch that was elevated, hanging breaking ball, and just missed it off the end for it to carry all the way deep left center field. Got up in that jet stream and almost carried out of the ballpark for a grand slam.
So they're at the corners with 2 out. Casey Borbo will be the 7th Longhorn to bat here in the first inning. Couple home runs on the homestand for Borba, who waves and misses at the first pitch breaking ball.
You can tell that Line really likes his breaking ball. He threw it early in the count to Larson, and then he hung it to Larson to get the sacrifice fly.
Runner going from first, and no throw to try and get Ethan Mendoza, who steals his 10th bag of the year. Texas stole 9 bases over the weekend against Mississippi State. It has become an identity of this team in year 2 under Jim Schlossnagle. It does take away the force out up the middle. Now a base hit to the outfield likely brings home 2. And Borba swings through another breaking pitch. Line in front here, a ball and 2 strikes.
The one thing that's dangerous for Line is he keeps leaving it elevated. He's got to get that down a little bit more, but Texas is swinging through it and over it at this time. We talked about it. You elevate it, somebody's going to end up hitting it. He kept going back to that breaking ball and he kept leaving it up. He has to be more effective by getting it down. You can see it just hanging right there, and Casey was able to get his hands through it for 2 RBIs.
All 4 of those runs charged to the starter James Hubbard. Here's Maddox Mansour batting 8th tonight. I remember UTSA in the first game of the Austin Regional last year came back from 5-0 down to beat Texas. They're facing an early deficit in this game as they look for the 3rd out here in the home half of the first inning.
If you're Max Grubbs, you got to be really excited about going out to the mound with the lead into the top of the 2nd.
Mansour comes up empty on 1-0. Just 4 for 24 this year against right-handed pitching. But Jim Schlossnagle made the decision over the weekend, told the media that he would be the every game center fielder moving forward, with Aiden Robbins shifting over to right field. 1-2 on Mansour.
If you're a Texas hitter, you go up to the plate and you're looking for the breaking ball. We've seen it multiple times over and over and over, and it's elevated. So you're going to get a chance to see it pretty well.
2-2 on the true freshman, who's got base hits in 3 of his last 4. Gets a lot of praise from Jim Schlossnagle on his defense and base running. Just hoping this every game opportunity helps him gain some more confidence with his bat. Fights off the 2-2 back to the screen. Blaine Lyon is elevating a lot of these breaking balls. Up hitter Andrew Stuckey, it's his second punch out tonight.
Another good breaking ball right there by Grubbs. This is a good opportunity for him to handle his business this week.
Texas has the upper hand all the time, but UTSA, they've made a little more noise in this matchup of late, winning 4 of the last 5. Not only did they sweep the Austin Regional with the 2 wins over Texas in the postseason last year, but they also won an extra inning game during the regular season here over Texas.
As you said, they have the Longhorns number as of now.
Here's Diego Diaz, the junior third baseman. Third year with the program, had 3 hits, 3 RBIs against Wichita State pitching over the weekend.
Silva plays for a former Texas Longhorn. In the summertime, Todd Haney is his coach, and Doug Lindow was one of the coaches there, who's also a former Texas Longhorn. He's got the best winning percentage for the Harbor Cats. He won 4 games.
4-0?
He went 4-0, baby.
Oh, that one curled off at the last moment. And Jacob Silva was more than 3/4 of the way to first base as it hooked foul.
Can't keep this stuff elevated. Both pitchers are leaving their breaking ball elevated, and guys are being able to recognize it at the plate. You got to start bouncing some of these curveballs.
Pulled the string with the changeup instead, and it's the 3rd strikeout for Grubbs.
Great job coming back. You can see the disappointment in what he did earlier, but he was able to get that back there again and dropped it off the table. Great pitch.
So Grubbs, through an inning and 2/3 here, has already matched his season high in strikeouts with 3. Jordan Bayin bats with 2 down and swings through the first pitch fastball from the senior. Bayin out of Bernie, Texas. Second team all-conference last year as a true freshman. Finished 4th in the country with an on-base percentage of .541 last year. Mentioned at the jump, UTSA among the best in the country this season in getting on base. 7th as a team nationally in on-base percentage. 10th in runs per game. Feels like Texas will need more than 4 tonight.
Got to keep getting after it. Got to keep getting after it.
There's so much buzz around this game, not only because of the recent history, but you think about Texas being the closest power conference school to UTSA, less than 90 miles from the Roadrunner campus. Pat Hallmark said he was fielding calls from players that were injured for the season and hadn't traveled all year, requesting to get a spot on the bus just to come watch this game from the dugout.
And you can see
in the run column on that night, as Robbins takes an aggressive swing through the 1-0. Third in the SEC in batting average for Aiden Robbins at the start of the day, as he lifts the breaking ball into shallow right field. Bayin, the second baseman, calls everybody off and makes the play for the first out.
Another big breaking ball that he just got underneath to pop it up on the infield. Another one of those that he's going to go back and look at the pitch chart and realize that he let one off the hook on that one.
A big first out for Blaine Line, who wound up getting the final 2 outs of the first inning after James Hubbard, the starter, was quickly yanked from the game after facing just 5 hitters. Carson Tinney takes a called strike. He singled through the right side, and well, despite that, UTSA still aligning that picket fence on the left side of the infield, daring Carson Tinney to hit it the other way again. Outside corner, 0-2.
You said it. They gave him another shot at it right there by pitching away from him. You would think, being able to pull the shift, you would want to try to challenge him on the inner half, but he's still staying away from him.
Breaking ball fouled straight back off the bat of Carson Tinney, designated hitter, usually the everyday catcher for Texas. 0 for 11 in the Hail State series. Did get hit by 3 separate pitches and also worked a walk. That has helped him extend his on-base streak now to 24 straight. With Corville on the move, it's another pop-up. It's the shortstop Aiden Eshelman making the catch for the second out. Throw back to first offline as Corville just gets back to the bag.
Strong throw right there.
Top 2 guys in the order pop out after the Corville infield single to open the frame. And now 2 down for Adrian Rodriguez, who pulled a base hit into right field and came around to score in the 4-run first. Three RBIs for Rodriguez over the weekend as he takes a called strike. 11th and final midweek of the season for Texas. 8-2 through the first 10. Longhorns 3rd in the RPI at the start of the day. 4th in the D1 baseball top 25. It felt like they probably had to win that series finale against Mississippi State to stay in the top 5, and they did.
Yeah, it was a big-time performance by coming from behind to stay in the ball game and then eventually winning the ball game.
Gets away from Stuckey, the catcher, and a wild pitch will push Corville up to second.
And you think about it, you and I had an opportunity to call Friday and Saturday. We got to see 2 very good pitching performances throughout it. And the same thing was happening on Sunday.
And this time wins the battle against Max Grubbs.
Caden Miller filled out his scouting report and said, anything close I'm swinging at. First at bat, hits a hard line drive to left field. This time he hits a hard line drive to right field.
Second knock for UTSA. And a 1-out base runner for Drew Detlefson, who struck out against Grubbs back in the first inning. What a year it's been for Detlefson, the senior from Trophy Club, Texas, north of Fort Worth. Second year at UTSA after 2 years at Dodge City Junior College in Kansas. And Texas with 3 infielders to the left of second on a breaking ball that sweeps low and away. Well, it was a nice first Division I season for Detlefson. He took home the Conference Newcomer of the Year award, .310 with 13 homers, and he's been that much better this year.
Which will probably lead him to be the conference MVP, the player of the year in the conference. Those numbers are second to none.
Detlefson the other way, and it's back-to-back base hits for the Roadrunners. Second time through the order, Miller and Detlefson have figured out Max Grubbs.
Goes back to what we talked about all game long. If they're going to get pitches that are going to be elevated, it's going to be a lot easier for them to hit. And you got to work down. You got to work down because these guys all across the league can hit the baseball and hit it hard.
UTSA 19th in the country in hits, 14th in batting average. And here's Hayworth taking a called strike. He had a 9-game hitting streak come to an end on Sunday after launching a pair of home runs last Tuesday, part of the 22-run effort for UTSA. Scored 14 of those runs in the 5th inning of that game. It's the best inning for a UTSA offense in the history of the program. Well, Texas not to be outdone. 9 runs in the 3rd inning, coming back from a 5-0 deficit Sunday against Mississippi State.
You think about that, 14 runs in an inning. I don't think there's very many schools that could boast that in their history.
A foul ball off the bat of Hayworth. He falls behind 0-2.
And then to your point, Texas with the 9-run inning was something that they needed because they struggled a little bit scoring runs on Saturday and was able to get it going on Sunday.
Here's the 0-2. Hayworth bounces one towards the right side. Mendoza slips and falls, and he throws it away. Into the dugout it goes. A run will score, and the Roadrunners will have him at 2nd and 3rd. A rare defensive miscue from Ethan Mendoza, who probably could have waited before he released the baseball.
I mean, he does everything the right way, gets himself in position, but then he just trips and then rushed himself to make the throw. In those types of situations, your body's going away from where you're trying to throw the ball, and you want to try to make an adjustment on that. Wow.
Only the 3rd error committed by Mendoza all season. And it sets up UTSA to tie this game with a base hit to the outfield. Andrew Stuckey, the cleanup hitter, takes upstairs. UTSA, they never feel like they're out of a baseball game with this offense.
Talked about this team, and you just mentioned it. This is a team that never believes that they're out of a ball game, and they're going to give you an extra at bat and an extra out. They're going to make you pay for it, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Jim Schlossnagel has signaled down to the bullpen. 2nd time through the order, the Roadrunners have hit the baseball hard against Max Grubbs.
As you mentioned, a lot of guys are staying in there and taking their battles.
On 1-2, Diaz bounces one left side under the glove of Rodriguez. 2nd hit tonight for Diego Diaz, and the 4th of the inning for UTSA.
Another good piece. They were shifted towards second base, and he was able to stay on the ball and hit it hard through the 6 hole and was able to get a base knock to extend the inning and keep runners on the bags.
The 10th multi-hit game of the season for Diego Diaz. Jacob Silva scheduled, but nobody in the batter's box, and Pat Hallmark going over the lineup card with the home plate umpire Jason Millsap. Silva, a switch hitter, would have been forced to bat right-handed against the southpaw Walker. Instead, UTSA will go to its bench and make an early substitution. Garrett Gruhl appears to be pinch hitting here for the Roadrunners with 2 on and 1 out in a tie game.
Garrett Gruhl from Groesbeck, Texas. Groesbeck, up near the Waco area in the 254. It's a big moment right here for Gruhl. Wow.
His first home run of the season travels 404 feet and breaks a 4-4 tie against the number 4 team in the country. You want to talk about pressing the right buttons for Patrick Hallmark. He always seems to do so here at UFCU Dish Falk Field as Walker solos to the bag for the 2nd out of the inning.
You hit the nail on the head when you said that. He made the right call. And it didn't even look like he had time to warm up. They were still talking to the umpire. He goes up to the plate, and the first pitch he sees, He delivers it into the left center field wall.
UTSA has batted around here in the top of the third. 6 runs across. This is the freshman Aiden Eshelman. Well, it has to feel like deja vu a bit here for Texas. They squandered a 5-0 lead in the opener of that regional against UTSA last summer. And a 4-0 lead has evaporated very quickly in this game.
Now we love this stuff. We're lucky and grateful to get to be here.
Well, Patrick Hallmark, your team has had some magnificent moments here at this yard in the last year. We wish you the best of luck tonight and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
What a job Patrick Hallmark has done in 7 seasons at UTSA. More than likely a postseason team again this year. Trying to get them to back-to-back regionals after an appearance in the Supers in 2025. Ethan Mendoza takes a called strike. And now Texas playing from behind will try and answer back.
They need to put some quality at-bats together. It's kind of the same thing. You got to be patient enough to wait for your pitch, but not try to do too much with it.
Ball 3 to Mendoza, who worked a bases-loaded walk for the first run of the game against the starter James Hubbard, who only pitched to 5 batters before Line came in out of the bullpen. And Mendoza chops it behind the bag at third. It's ruled foul.
Another one of those big breaking balls that Mendoza just trying to do a little bit too much. If he tries to shoot that ball to right center field, he might bang it off the left center field wall, but he's just out in front a little bit on the breaking stuff.
Mendoza, after that first inning walk, has now drawn 9 free passes across his last 6 games. And draws another walk here as he takes the breaking ball upstairs. 3rd straight inning in this game. Texas has put its leadoff man aboard. It's a good thing we let Patrick Hallmark go when we did, because here he comes. Well, that's the last thing you want to see. Your offense puts up 6 runs to give you a 3-run cushion, and you come back the next half inning and you walk the first man, Becerra, who struck out his only time back in the first inning.
Becerra, very experienced hitter, been around for quite some time. He's going to be integral to the success that Texas is going to have in the postseason with all the experience.
Check on Mendoza, who stole a bag in the first inning.
Good crowd here tonight.
They have watched the UTSA score 7 unanswered runs after Texas put up a 4 spot in the first inning. 2-2 on Temo Becerra. Longhorns have 3 more regular season games here at the Dish. They'll welcome the Mizzou Tigers the weekend after this one. Texas heading to Rocky Top to tangle with the Tennessee Volunteers this weekend. Upstairs, full count.
Good opportunity to put some motion out here because Becerra, good hitter, good contact hitter.
Mendoza on the move. The flip to second, not in time. Relay to first is wide. Into the dugout it goes. And the Longhorns have him at second and third with nobody out.
As I mentioned, you put him in motion to try to stay out of the double play. And sure enough, he beats the throw at second base to be able to force him to make a throw to first. And you see when you get in motion, you know Temo Becerra is going to put the ball in play. Good hustle right there by Ethan Mendoza to beat the toss.
It was a Texas error that opened things up for UTSA in the top half of this inning, and now UTSA error has potentially started a rally here for Texas in the home half. Corner infielders are come in. And I think if Aiden Eshelman, the shortstop, could have that one back, he would have just thrown it right to first base.
I agree with you. Because he was already in motion, if he comes through that ball, he makes a strong throw. There's no bang-bang play at second base, and you got one out. Two good at-bats by Larson to be able to get a sacrifice fly in his first at-bat for an RBI, and then situationally being able to hit the ball hard to get an RBI from third base.
There's Casey Borba, 2-run single in the first inning. Eight RBIs on the homestand as Borba has gotten the bat going here into the early days of May. Over shift on. Now Borba takes low. Kendall Dove, despite having an earned run average of 6 this year, is 9-0, which tells you everything about how good UTSA's offense has been. 2-1. Borba in these spots with the runner at third base and less than 2 outs this year is 9 for 13. And with the infield playing back, doesn't necessarily need a hit here to bring Temo Becerra home.
This is one of those situations where it's one pitch, one out, one spot. You don't want to force yourself into swinging at something that you can't handle. He's got to put it in the sweet spot and be able to drive it. If not, to your point, base is open.
A rocket foul. That'll fill the count on Casey Borba.
Did that hit above the dugout? Golly, that's getting the barrel out.
Kendall Dove delivers the payoff. Borba out in front of another one. The time pulled the fastball foul. A Cinco de Mayo slugfest in Austin. And Borba goes down swinging. That's a big strikeout for Kendall Dove and UTSA to get the second one here in the bottom of the third.
He sped him up enough. We talked about the foul ball that was hit above the dugout. Then he hits a hard ground ball past third base. Then he comes back and slows him down again with the changeup and drops him to a knee for a strikeout.
2 gone for Maddox Monsoor. Strikeout victim back in the first inning. Drew Frosch from Carrollton, Georgia. No Anthony Pack Jr. tonight. The freshman who's been one of Texas' top hitters, getting what we were told was a scheduled off day, is available off the bench. And the way this game is shaping up, I don't think it'd be any surprise to see Anthony Pack Jr. be called upon later in the game. He goes off the end of his bat on a ball that winds up traveling 434 feet. And after UTSA strikes for 6 in the top half of the inning, Texas pulls even with the 3 spot in the home half. This is shaping up to be a wild, wild midweek in the Lone Star State. There's Presley Corville, an infield hit his only time, and looked like he was trying to go back to back.
Yeah, you talk about swinging hard like you have some bad intentions. That's exactly what that swing was by Corville. With
an on-base average right near 500. Means half the time he steps into the batter's box, he finds his way on first, second, or third base. 2-2.
Which makes it easy for Hallmark to put him in the lineup because you know you're going to get something positive to happen.
We'll put him atop the lineup. They've been such a great catalyst for this team. Second in the American with his 42 walks. But Ethan Walker takes care of him here as he ties him up on a 2-2 pitch.
Ethan Walker able to climb the line home runs in 2 seasons at Seton Hall. And now he's here already with 18.
Has used the launch angle more in his move to the Longhorns. Took a bunch of visits in a very short amount of time in the offseason before ultimately landing on Texas. Carson Tenney, Adrian Rodriguez to follow against Kendall Dove. Already the 3rd pitcher used by UTSA tonight. There's a knee-high strike, 87-mile-per-hour fastball. Dove allowed the game-tying home run to Maddox Monsoor, first of the freshman's career, in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Two and two.
Aiden Robbins tried to jump on one right there. Saw something elevated in the strike zone and came out of his shoes. Now he needs to get back in there and get focused.
Multi-hit efforts in 3 of the last 4 for Aiden Robbins from Yardley in Pennsylvania, and strikes out swinging for the first out of the 4th inning.
Great pitch sequence by Dove, being able to mix it up. Ran a fastball in there at 87, and then he comes back with the changeup down, and Robbins swung over it. Great sequence right there.
Second strikeout for the right-hander, and now he deals with the designated hitter Carson Tenney. Base hit to right field for Tenney in Texas' 4-run first inning. And it beat the scouting report as UTSA dragged 3 infielders on the left side. Same defensive alignment the Roadrunners are in here. And for good reason. Tenney 52% of the time this year has put the ball in play to the left side compared to just 21% to the opposite field. Bounces this one towards the middle. It's the second baseman Bain behind the bag for out number 2.
Shift worked in their favor on that one. Carson Tenney thinking he's got a base hit up the middle, and boom, Bain is right there to make the play.
Well, you figured they had him shifted that way for some reason.
Then you got this guy, Ethan Walker. Gotta love it. I need you to focus on the postseason. That's my goal. I need you to focus postseason.
I think if I let
mustache.
if I let this thing go till the end of May, you'll see progress. But I've only had about 5 days since the mustache challenge began. I need a little more time. There's a base hit the opposite way off the bat of Andrew Stuckey, his second knock tonight.
Okay, let me make this be fair. Okay, are you able to grow a mustache?
I sat here Friday night and told you I didn't think I was, and we got some push on social media, which I said you needed for me to attempt this thing.
But are you really attempting it?
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I concur with that decision right there, but how much longer should we wait?
I just call it Mustache May. It's only the 5th day of the month.
So by the end of May, I want to check you out in Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend, that's fair.
And then if that is the case.
Give me until the very end of Memorial Day.
But I need an update by Memorial.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. But we got no chance at that right there, right?
I might use AI to make you think that it's a little longer than it is. That's a beauty of a bunt dropped down by Diego Diaz, and that's his third hit of the game. So a guy that hits the ball over 400 feet his first time bunts his way aboard a few innings later.
That's impressive because I've always wondered why more teams do not try to bunt whenever you see a shift on. They're playing back, they're shifted. Why not bunt? You just hit a home run, get yourself on base, try to create a big inning for your squad, and here we are again with an opportunity.
The second three-hit game of the season for Diego Diaz, puts 2 on with 1 out. For Gruel, who came off the bench and launched the pinch hit 3-run shot off of Ethan Walker back in the third. It was Garrett Gruel's first home run of the season. Presley Corville, the catcher, out to chat at bats, and it took him 55 at bats this season to launch his first home run, but did it in a big spot. And just as he did last time he came into the batter's box, he's got a couple men on base here. Texas jumped out to a 4-0 lead after an inning, then 7 unanswered from UTSA before the Longhorns pulled even with 3 runs in the bottom of the third. Neither side scored in the fourth. And here we are deadlocked at 7 in the 5th inning. A win that could really boost UTSA's resume if they don't claim the automatic bid from the American Conference. First place in that league at the moment, couple games up on East Carolina. First one from Walls off the outside for ball 1. Andrew Stuckey at second, Diego Diaz at first base. Back-to-back 1-out singles to knock Ethan Walker out of this baseball game. Two and one. Jacob Silva got the start in this spot before Pat Hallworth made an early substitution that paid off big time for UTSA. This is the designated hitter spot for the Roadrunners. On 2-1 to Gruel. It's off the outside for ball 3.
One looked pretty close.
Something Texas will be able to appeal a couple of weeks from now in Hoover. It's ball 4 to Gruel, and UTSA has loaded the bases with 1 down in the 5th.
Good at bat by Gruel. Didn't offer on some of those pitches. Some of them were out of the zone. Had a good take on the ball away. Good at bat.
Here comes Jordan Bayin with the bases full of Roadrunners. Corner infielders will come in for Texas. Middle infield at double play depth. Big spot for Brody Walls, the true freshman, trying to keep this game tied at 7. As he misses off the outside to Bayin for ball 1.
Patient at bats. Key.
Fouled back to the screen again. It's 1-2.
In these situations as a hitter, he's got to come to you. There's no room for him to make any errors.
In 17 of his last 25 plate appearances. 2 more walks in this game, including bases loaded base on balls to open the scoring back in the first. Batista pitched once over the weekend, appearing in UTSA's doubleheader against Wichita State on Saturday. Only pitched 2/3 of an inning, facing 3 hitters.
Bases.
Well, Hayworth keeps Mendoza off the base paths. And here's Temo Becerra, who reached on an error and came in to score on the Mansour home run back in the 3rd. Fastball at 91 for a strike. Batista did not appear in any of the 3 games between these 2 squads a season ago. Only made 8 appearances in his first season with the Roadrunners.
Big swing by Becerra.
Temo Becerra checked into action tonight, a .333 hitter against right-handed pitching. Only .208 against southpaws. Did you keep track of your career? 6 of the 7 UTSA runs came across in the top of the 3rd inning. Ball and a strike on Eshelman. Tried to check his swing. Clint Fagan down at first base says no swing. It's 2-1.
Brody with that 3/4 release and that slider that kind of backs up on you, kind of freezes you as a hitter. You keep thinking it's going to spin out of the zone, and it stays right there for a strike.
Eshelman down swinging.
You think you can hit it? That slider just continues to have so much bite to it. Comes out of his hand, looks like it's right down the middle, and just keeps going away from you as a right-handed hitter.
5th strikeout for Texas pitching in the game, and here's Christian Hallmark. Hallmark is the son of UTSA head coach Patrick Hallmark. His first year with the program. Spent last year at Navarro Junior College. Out of play, it's 0-2.
Before that pitch that he took, that was the first time that he did not swing at the first pitch. He's rather aggressive, and he probably was told, hey man, just relax a little bit, just take a pitch real quick.
His first career game against Texas. Had a front row seat to watch his dad lead the Roadrunners to the regional win here in Austin last season. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Brody Walls here in the top of the 6th.
Another good breaking ball, down and in. And he was able to swing over the top of it. You see this good tight slider once again, down out of the zone. And Hallmark swung over the top of it.
Caden Miller set to bat for a 4th time. for 3 so far.
Another good crowd here on a Tuesday night.
It's getting late in the season. Locals are runners later. In this instance, this is a pretty quick turnaround for the SEC tournament to implement the ball strike challenge.
I'm glad that they're doing it, to be quite honest with you, because it is something that a lot of these guys throughout the seasons have been wanting. You look at a couple of the calls that might happen in a game, could change the whole dynamic of the way that the game is being played. But then there are some that you're just going to be wrong about, and we're going to get a chance to see that as well.
Ball and 2 strikes here on Casey Borba, and you just get the sense if that goes well, maybe we see it across all levels of college baseball next season.
I would love for it to happen. I think it's been great at the major league level. The reaction time is so much quicker than what a lot of folks were thinking it was going to be.
Casey Borba down swinging against Mike DiBattista, who picks up his 2nd strikeout.
The other part of it is the fan participation. You think about it, every time a fan is in the stands and it goes their way, you hear it erupt, they erupt for it. So I think it'll be a great addition to whatever level they want to use it at. If it's just going to be for the tournament, cool. But if it can be for the regular season, I think it would be great for everyone involved.
There's Maddox Mansour. Launched the home run that banged off the bottom of the scoreboard in left center field. First of his Texas career, a 2-run shot to put us at this 7-7 score, his last time in the 3rd inning. I think right after we showed you the firemen sitting on top of their truck out there, these offenses have cooled off considerably. Let's take you back to the 3rd, and Mansour got all of it.
You talk about getting your first home run and really driving the ball out of the park. They get a chance to get the little curtain call. You got to absolutely enjoy it for that young man.
I think it was a surprise to some when Jim Schlossnagle came out and said over the weekend that this guy would be the everyday center fielder the rest of the way. But if he can put together at-bats like that, there won't be much controversy surrounding that decision. And he fouls back the 2-1.
The more opportunities you get, the more at-bats you get, the better you're going to start feeling on the field of play. You're going to start understanding what it's like to play at Dish Falk, to play in some of these SEC towns, and the game will slow down for you once you get those reps.
Full count on the freshman. Eight in a row retired by UTSA pitching since the Mansour home run. He fouls back the full count delivery. Presley Corville, the freshman catcher, in the on-deck circle for Texas. 7 runs on 5 hits for the Horns tonight. And Mansour down swinging. That's back-to-back strikeouts for DiBattista here in the 6th.
DiBattista with that good slider. Once again, we've talked about it all night, whether it's a slider for some, a curveball for others throughout this night. They have been tight, and they have been right where they needed to be to continue to throw strikes and get outs in crucial situations.
Two gone for Corville. Infield base hit in the 2nd inning. just the freshman's third start all year. Trying to bunt his way aboard, and he bunted it back to the screen.
Trying to create some traffic on the base paths. Got to get it in. Trying to put pressure, make him. You saw his speed on the ground ball to third earlier.
Ball and 2 strikes.
You're like, man, no wonder we're doing so well.
1-2. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Corville trying to snap a stretch of 9 straight retired by UTSA pitching. Aiden Robbins would be next. The true freshman from Lake Charles. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored against Mississippi State over the weekend.
Came in here with the full intention of winning it all, and they came out and played well the entire time, going 3-0 in the regional here at Dish Falk Field. As you can see, a lot of fans travel here for UTSA. It's a short drive up I-35, and every time they play, they expect to win.
1-2 count here on Drew Detlefson, top hitter for UTSA. And he stares at strike 3 right over the heart of the plate. Brody Walls has his 3rd punch out. D1 Baseball put out its latest field of 64 projection earlier today, and still 7 1 seeds for the SEC. I think the big thing for Texas here at this juncture of the season, can you stay in the top 8 and have an opportunity to host on the second weekend if you can make it past the regional round?
Yeah, that is the goal, the ultimate goal, for them to stay at Dish Falk the entire time and make everything run through Austin, Texas. But you know as well as I do, covering the SEC and being a part of it, anything can happen. You're getting ready to go and take on Tennessee, at Tennessee, and then you're going to finish the season off at home against Missouri, and then roll into the conference tournament. But you got to be able to play week in and week out, and winning series is the key for them in the next 2 weeks.
Already 7 SEC series victories for Texas this season. Tied for the most in the conference. 1-2 on Hayworth. And it almost hits him. A fastball at 96. Runs off the inside from Brody Wells, who's held UTSA without a hit in 2 innings from the Texas bullpen tonight. Here comes to Hayworth. And he pulls it foul. Texas just 5-8 this year when tied or trailing after 6 innings. They do have 11 come from behind victories on the season, including a pair on this homestand. That's off the outside. Tried to bring that breaking ball around the back door, and it fills the count on Hayworth with Andrew Stuckey, the cleanup hitter, on deck. Middle of the order has done the bulk of the damage for UTSA tonight. The payoff to Hayworth, and he strikes out swinging.
Look at what Brody Wells has been able to do. Brody Wall, excuse me. This is something that you continue to look at, and I wanted to ask you this. This might set him up to be somebody that will come out of the pen in the tournament and moving forward. This is a big outing for him.
Walls has matched his career high with 4 strikeouts in the game. Andrew Stuckey, a couple of hits, including a 2-run single and the 6-run third. UTSA and Texas, neither have scored since the end of the 3rd inning. No runs through the middle innings of this game as both pitching staffs have settled in nicely. Stuckey, the 5th year from Tucson, as that one skips up there. Had the game-winning homer in the 12th inning to break a tie against Texas. That was the regular season win for UTSA. Stuckey in his 3rd year.
You talk about a kid who wants to come here and play and stay locked in. You mentioned it, 4 hits on the day. Started off with the power shot, but now he just hit another one into the gap and was able to drive in the runner from first base. Stuckey was able to hustle around the bag, great swing, and it looks like, again, Coach Hallmark calling the timeout, giving him a pep talk, got him going again.
That was before Max Weiner came out and tried to instill some confidence in Brody Walls. Well, Diaz has his 2nd career, or rather 3rd career 4-hit game, his 1st since March of 2024 in his freshman season. First run for either side since the 3rd inning. And that's a cue shot off the very end of the bat, handled by Casey Borba for out number 3. But UT